It's a video right above me. Lil Durk, the mini murders of Lil Durk. It's a 4-hour video. So we're not gonna be reacting to this whole thing. But this will be part one. We'll continue a different time. But let's see what he's talking about. Trap Lord Ross, he do all these, man. Shout out to Trap Lord Ross. You know what I mean? Trap Lord Ross. Okay. Let's get into the video.
Disclaimer. Everything in this video is taken from public sources. I cannot be held responsible for content third parties publish. This video is a collection of rumors, lyrics, legal paperwork, and my own opinion. This video is covered by fair use and contains my own personal analysis.
Rumors. You said rumors first. Rumors, lyrics, and paperwork.
And critique of publicly available information only. Visit patreon.com/traplordross if you want uncut, extended, and early versions of my best videos. In 2024, Chicago rapper Lil Durk was at the pinnacle of his career. One of the leading pioneers of drill music, the violent modern incarnation of gangster rap, over the course of his 14-year career, he'd released a series of mixtapes and albums that cemented his place as one of the most influential and impactful gangster rappers in history, and
wow, the voice. He had a lot of albums.
Earning him the nickname The Voice. Over those years, he racked up 4 Grammy nominations, finally winning one in 2024 for his inspirational hit song All My Life with fellow rap megastar J. Cole. The song went double platinum.
All my life. All my life. Ooh, that was horrible. That was horrible. All my life. All my life. They be trying to get me down. All this time.
Inspirational hit song All My Life with fellow rap megastar J. Cole. The song went double platinum, selling 2 million copies by the end of 2023. An uplifting anthem for the streets. It included an infectious hook where Durk claimed that all his life, people had been trying to hold him down. He rapped that they never thought he would make it out, but they couldn't take him, and they...
Yeah, man. Nah, I ain't gonna get to that. I was about to say they try to hold me down, but... Yeah. Nah, I ain't gonna... Nah. Nobody trying to hold me down. I don't know.
Been trying to hold him down.
The man.
He rapped that they never thought he would make it out, but they couldn't take him, and they couldn't break him. In his verse, he admonished the media for calling him a menace and using his past against him. He rapped about sitting down with the mayor of Chicago and politicians in an effort to change his image.
Get it,
Durk presented himself as a misunderstood and falsely persecuted artist who was trying to provide a positive message to the downtrodden community he'd emerged from. But it would turn out that this may well have been...
Hey, chat. Y'all don't think he trying to do all that mayor stuff and all that because he knew he was going to go to his knees when the law came. You think he was going to go to his knees when the law came? That song came out, he started fucking with the mayor. He started taking his Muslim serious. But man, at least he started. Some people don't never do it.
Message to the downtrodden community he'd emerged from, but it would turn out that this may well have been one big facade, as the world would soon find out the dark reality behind Durk's music was much worse than anyone could have ever imagined. As on October 24, 2024, rap fans around the world would take the allegation as federal prosecutors would announce that they had charged 5 people.
These them dudes that got pabbed right across from that Beverly Center, allegedly. I gotta start using that word heavy, allegedly. Because these dudes are not found guilty yet. And yeah, man. Durk innocent, man. Yeah, Vito in the chat. He fell to his knees when the law came.
News of a bombshell allegation as federal prosecutors would announce that they had charged 5 people connected to Lil Durk's OTF record label and rap group with the murder of a young man named Savia Robinson, aka Lil Pab, the cousin of rival rapper Quando Rondo, who had been brutally...
See, Quando Rondo, rest in peace to this young man. Lil Pab, you know what I mean? Didn't know him. Hey man, Vito in the chat said, dude in the back snitching. Oh, talking about Trap Lord. Let's see. Rest in peace to this man.
Robinson, aka Lil Pab, the cousin of rival rapper Quando Rondo, who had been brutally shot to death 2 years earlier at a gas station in Los Angeles. With Pab's death,
man, I used to go there all the time. Man, that's when he was like, no.
who had been brutally shot to death 2 years earlier at a gas station in Los Angeles. With Pab's death and the chilling aftermath caught on camera and broadcast on the news for the whole world to see.
New details tonight in a deadly shooting near the Beverly Center. We've learned the victim is a friend of rapper Quando Rondo. Video from the scene appears to show Quando Rondo distraught while first responders moved the body. So far, no arrests have been made.
It all started at this mobile gas station at 5:30 Friday evening. LAPD says witnesses heard multiple gunshots, then watched a couple cars zoom off. 3 people in one car shot at this black Cadillac Escalade. It's unclear if those inside shot back. Deputies found it peppered with bullet holes and a shattered window. One man inside, a member of Rondo's entourage, had been shot. The 23-year-old was taken.
Wow, man. That's crazy. But that don't prove nothing. That I think I was muted when I said something before, but all this is alleged, man. And it was all kind of rumors people was doing this, you know.
One man inside, a member of Rondo's entourage, had been shot.
Wait, why they got them two in cuffs? Who's them? What they got to do with it? All right, man.
And a shattered window. One man inside, a member of.
I'll be on later. Video in the chat. For sure. Good looking, man. Don Vito. Shout out to Don Vito. Off the mic. Go to his page. Off the mic. He give you some good stuff too, man.
Rondo's entourage had been shot. The 23-year-old was taken to the hospital where he died. A scene left with remnants of the fight, shoes left in the street, doors flung open. Shots fired, a fight taken to the streets, and this chaotic scene, the ending of a shooting that started in Los Angeles, California. Sheriff's deputies pulling out a man who had been shot in an SUV. Savannah rapper Quando Rondo, a passenger in that car, frantic at the sight.
The details and footage.
That's crazy. He used that no thing for a song, man. That's diabolical. Music is like, you could put messages out there, man. This shit deep.
Rapper Quando Rondo, a passenger in that car, frantic at the sight.
The details and footage of this disturbing murder would be seen and read all around the world. But not only was it a brutal hit, carried out in broad daylight, with no regards for the safety of the public, but it took place next to one of the most popular tourist attractions in the city, the Beverly Center shopping mall. A brazen murder that ironically bared the hallmarks of a similar murder carried out in Chicago 2 years prior, where another rap rival of Lil Durk's, FBG Duck, was gunned down by a group of 6 men.
Duck. Put in the comments if you like any Duck music. I like that slide, you know what I mean? It's a couple on the end, but they got the hand, but they got I ain't shook your hand. Yeah, that one, yeah.
Prior, where another rap rival of Lil Durk's, FBG Duck, was gunned down by a group of 6 men, with that crime also being caught on surveillance footage in its entirety. Once again in broad daylight in a busy tourist hotspot, a high-end fashion district, with the murder happening right outside the Dolce & Gabbana store.
Well, Rob, Chicago police tell me that these 3 victims were targeted, that 4 men in 2 different vehicles came down Oak Street, stopped right here in the middle, and started firing. Lights, sirens, and crime scene tape taking over one of Chicago's most notable streets. Word is spreading on social media that the 26-year-old man pronounced dead is a well-known Chicago rapper.
To see this happen in the middle of the day is very, very disturbing.
And just like in the murder of Lil Pab, FBG Duck was left to die in the middle of the street, traumatizing innocent members of the public, one of whom was even hit in the crossfire.
Hey y'all, what's going on? I'm here, I'm in the Gold Coast. I'm in the Gold Coast right now. Yeah, man, I was just riding my bike, y'all. I'm just riding my bike. Man, we need to take. They shot FBG Duck, man. I don't know who shot him, man. I just ran into this, y'all. Man.
But interestingly, all of the men who were involved in the murder of FBG Duck were found guilty of murder, despite the fact that for over a year while the case was being built, they seemingly ran free, expecting no consequences and incriminating themselves extensively. Some of those people involved in the murder were dead by the time the FBI swooped in and delivered justice, and many of those involved were close friends of Lil Durk himself. One of those convicted, Marcus Smart, known in the streets and on songs as Moo-Wop, was a very close friend of Durk's, even being seen on flights with Durk, flexing wads of cash shortly before his arrest and posing for pictures, calling himself Gangsta Killer.
Then you could be at a high point, flexing money all on the PJ, yeah, you know what I mean, flexing. He got picked up right after that. Damn. Not Durk, Moo-Wop. This is around that Durk murder time.
All of this isn't a good look for Durk, but the most important piece of the puzzle is another infamous figure in the Chicago gangland, as well as its buzzing drill music scene, infamous Black Disciple member and apparent leader of the O-Block faction of the gang, King Von. Allegedly, Von had orchestrated the murder of Duck and put a six-figure bounty on his head prior to the murder, but this wasn't Von's first time taking a life.
Yeah, a lot of people just see Trap Lord Ross snitching. That's what they saying, he's snitching.
A life in Chicago. Von had allegedly killed 7 people in the gang war between the Black Disciples and the Gangster Disciples in Chicago. Something that I broke down in detail in a 3-hour documentary on my channel where I actually argued that he indeed met the FBI's definition of a serial killer.
I watched that and he broke down what the FBI say the serial killer is, and he checked off all the boxes. I'm like, wow, he was like a serial killer. But some of these murders are alleged, but he would have been picked up for that little Duck murder, though. All right, man.
On my channel where I actually argued that he indeed met the FBI's definition of a serial killer. Somehow, Von always managed to evade justice, either beating his murder charges in court due to lack of evidence or not being charged at all due to the fact that his murders were usually committed in the dead of night in the slums of Southside Chicago, rather than the broad daylight assassinations that his friends would later carry out in front of the public. King Von was one of Lil Durk's best friends, and when Von beat his last murder charge at the end of 2017, he decided to follow in Lil Durk's footsteps, becoming a drill rapper too, and openly rapping about the many murders he'd allegedly committed. Von's raps, openly bragging about real murders he'd apparently committed, made him a star in drill music, and with Lil Durk's help and guidance, he quickly became the most buzzing gangster rapper in drill music. But in his heart, Von was still a violent thug, and his tendencies to commit brazen violence would begin to impact Durk's career. In 2019, Von and Durk, along with 2 other people, would be accused of attempted murder and armed robbery, with the 2 appearing in court together.
Case against a rapper accused in a shooting outside of the Varsity will move forward. Today, Lil Durk appeared in court where a judge ruled there was a...
Yeah, them rich, they rich and they just still robbing niggas, and or do they be flexing like they rich and like, I don't know. But them 2 out robbing the dude and all type of, maybe disrespected them and they just did the, you know what I mean? But wow.
An armed robbery, with the 2 appearing in court together.
Case against a rapper accused in a shooting outside of the Varsity will move forward. Today, Lil Durk appeared in court where a judge ruled there was enough evidence for him to go to trial.
On Friday, detectives from Atlanta and Chicago testified in the criminal case against rapper Lil Durk in Fulton County Court. They say around 5 in the morning on February 5th, Lil Durk, whose real name is Durk Banks, and his co-defendant, Devon Bennett, were seen on camera involved in shooting Alexander Witherspoon, a person police say they knew.
They were hanging out. They went to a studio to make music.
The rapper and Bennett listened to the evidence against them in court. Police told
What y'all think? What y'all think Vaughn was saying to Durk right there? What y'all think he was saying? Look at it. Look at him.
the studio to make music.
The rapper and Bennett listened to the evidence against them in court. Police told the judge later that night.
What y'all think he was saying to that nigga Durk? Put it in the comments, man.
Music.
The rapper and Bennett listened to the evidence against them in court. Police told the judge later that night the victim, Banks, Bennett, and others went to a nightclub, a gas station, and ended up in the parking lot of the Varsity. That's when Weatherspoon said he was robbed and shot.
Interestingly, Durk looked stressed and nervous in court, while Vaughn looked comfortable and in a familiar domain. Durk and Vaughn would refer to themselves over the years as the Evil Twins, and in one song titled Evil Twins, they referred to themselves as that and went back and forth, repeating, "If you do it, I'ma do it," even saying "go hop out the car and do it." Clearly Vaughn was a dark and negative influence on Lil Durk and his career. Vaughn was in the habit of doing real crimes and rapping about them in his music without a care for who heard it. And if Vaughn did it, then Durk would begin doing it too. But unfortunately for the Evil Twins, Vaughn would suddenly die in November 2020 after launching an unprovoked beating on the rapper Quando Rondo in front of an Atlanta hookah lounge. Sometimes in life, every action has a reaction, and the reaction from this beating resulted in one of Quando's friends, Lil Tim, jumping out of the car, opening fire, and killing King Von. Ironically, Von, the demonic killer turned rapper who had seemingly murdered 7 people in Chicago and got away with it, ended up getting shot dead after who had seemingly murdered 7 people in Chicago and got away with it.
So he murdered all them people. Oh, let me move. Man. Dang. That's crazy. Supposedly, allegedly, I guess.
Ended up getting shot dead after starting a fistfight with a rapper rather than in a shootout with gangsters. His feud with Quando Rondo started on the internet rather than in the streets, off the back of a back and forth with Quando's friend and label mate NBA Youngboy, who seemingly didn't want to proceed with a collaboration with King Von. This was followed by a petty back and forth where Von took pictures with the mother of Youngboy's child. Von essentially died over nothing more than an internet back and forth with a rapper, turned fight, turned self-defense shootout, and in the end, he was no longer here to face the music for the murders that he'd done and arranged. But after King Von died, Lil Durk was still running free. And interestingly, after Von's death, Durk was able to make a maneuver and have the attempted murder and armed robbery charges he caught with Von miraculously dropped. The sudden and tragic death of King Von meant that Lil Durk had a second chance to...
They say with his, that murder, robbery being dropped that he had with... Oh man, my bad. He had with King Von. It got dropped somehow. They saying he blamed that on Von.
Miraculously dropped. The sudden and tragic death of King Von meant that Lil Durk had a second chance to escape the cycle of violence and focus on his music career. But despite his promising rap career, it would seem that the death of his evil twin, King Von, consumed Lil Durk. And in the midst of the killing of one of Chicago's most dangerous rappers, who seemingly always got revenge for any of his friends that were killed, a dark trend would emerge, where fans would goad Lil Durk, begging him to get revenge or slide for Von, with rival rappers like 6ix9ine even mocking Durk openly and asking why he hasn't avenged his friend, ultimately showing off the infamous text.
Now, obviously this dude a troll. Look at him. Why would you let him troll you into doing what you did? Go do something for Von. Like, I know you have to get back for your friend, but maybe he was already doing it. Maybe this had nothing to do with him doing it. I don't know.
Begging him to get revenge or slide for Von, with rival rappers like 6ix9ine even mocking Durk openly and asking why he hasn't avenged his friend, ultimately showing off the infamous text that said slide for Von in blood in the music video for his song Gine, and rapping that his friend got shot and he just made music about it, taunting Durk, telling him to get a gun and go and get some get back, and saying that he knew he wouldn't ride out and get revenge for his friend on his own. Clearly, all of this trolling struck a nerve with Lil Durk, and not only did Durk lose Von, but over the years, he's lost over 30 friends to street violence, up to the point where fans have speculated that he's actually cursed, as I broke down in another video on the topic. And not only did Lil Durk lose Von in 2020, but in 2021, his beloved blood brother D-Thang was also murdered at a Chicago...
Yeah, it just came out that he sent some dudes for that too. They trying to get, that's why they won't let him out in bond. They said, nah, he sent people for that too. We got evidence. Look, they got video and all that of the people that did it. That's crazy. That slid for the brother. You know what I mean?
Actually cursed, as I broke down.
Oh, I watched this too. This was crazy. Y'all tap in with that. And he lost so many dudes. Durk might have been cursed.
In another video on the topic. And not only did Lil Durk lose Von in 2020, but in 2021, his beloved blood brother D-Thang was also murdered at a Chicago nightclub in another incident that was seemingly gang-related. Now, just being completely honest, I can't imagine being in that situation. I haven't lost a friend or relative to murder the same way that Durk has, and who knows how the average person would react under this sort of pressure and grief. But ultimately, Lil Durk should have focused on his music career, the success that he was having, and continuing to provide for his family and the people who relied on him. But it would seem that his apparent desire to slide and get revenge was actually stronger than his desire to chase money, success, and security for his loved ones. As he famously rapped on the song Wonderful Wayne and Jackie Boy with Babyface Ray, he would rather get revenge than get millions. And he would seemingly know his fate long before the murders happened when he rapped on.
Dang. Would y'all rather get revenge or get millions? What y'all rather get? I'd rather get some millions, man. That would be my revenge. But put it down in the comments, man.
As he famously rapped on the song Wonderful Wayne and Jackie Boy with Babyface Ray, he would rather get revenge than get millions. And he would seemingly know his fate long before the murders happened when he rapped on his song Redman that when people ask him where he think he'll be in 10 years, he replies, in federal custody. Ultimately, 2 years after Lil Pab was murdered, the indictment would claim in black and white that this murder was allegedly a
Get back for Vine.
2 years after Lil Pab was murdered, the indictment would claim in black and white that this murder was allegedly a get-back for the killing of King Von. But this wasn't a surprise to anyone who'd been paying attention, as within months of the murder of Lil Pab, Lil Durk and others close to him would begin to claim openly in music and on podcasts that Lil Durk had indeed slid for Von.
Oh, they did something. Oh, slide for him. Oh, you. Oh, yeah.
Slide for Von, right? Yeah.
He's not triggered by the slide for Von comments. I don't know if people still say it.
They say you can't say that. No.
That's some crazy editing. He wasn't staring that act that long. That's crazy. I seen that interview. And my boy Brick. But shout out to Brick. Good, funny, good podcaster, man. Fuck with it.
Oh, yeah.
Slide for Von, right?
Yeah. He's not triggered by the slide for Von comments. I don't know if people still say it.
They say you can't say that no more.
Why? Oh yeah, because of no.
Reason I just don't see comments no more. Some odd reason. I don't know. Might be the water.
You can't say that no more.
Oh, because of FBG Cash? Oh.
Yeah, though. We different in Iraq.
Damn, he was talking. Oh, my boy Brick. Yeah, man. They're just doing something without nobody knowing. That's hard for a lot of people to do.
Yeah, though. We different in Iraq.
Nah, cause Lil Pab.
I feel like you troll right there. Oh? I never troll him. You gotta beat up too bad. Yeah, already. He not condoning more violence. What? Everybody you telling me about don't matter.
But it wasn't just
You telling me about don't matter.
I heard about all these murders except 2 of them. The J-Ski and the Gut Again Oil. Oh, that was on the same day. Whoa. And these are recent. 2020 to 2022. Wait a minute.
What? Everybody you telling me about don't matter.
But it wasn't just interviews. In fact, just 4 months after the murder, Lil Durk and his OTF rap collective and label released a project titled Loyal Bros 2. And while many people missed it at the time, this entire project was wall-to-wall with jaw-dropping self-incrimination. Not just from Durk, but his friends and label mates. In fact, when the indictment dropped, reports would soon begin to spread of an unidentified co-conspirator who had allegedly organized this murder and offered lucrative music opportunities to the other suspects. It could very well be the case that Lil Durk had actually offered his subordinates verses and feature opportunities in exchange for carrying out real murders. Unfortunately now, Lil Durk is charged with murder for hire in the case of Lil Pab, but the dark truth is, this very well may just be the tip of the iceberg. And ever since the paperwork dropped, there's been intense speculation as to whether this was a one-off incident, or had Durk actually spent several years using his power, status, and money to have numerous enemies murdered before rapping about it in front of the whole world for everyone to hear. The fact is, there's a total of 6 high-profile murders that Lil Durk is rumored to have orchestrated. So today, we're going to be taking a closer look at those cases to try and work out once and for all whether Lil
This the thumbnail right here. This the thumbnail right here. Let me fix this. Hold on. Hold on, that's gonna be the thumbnail. Let me make this thumbnail real quick, chat. Hold on. Stop. All right, we got the thumbnail. Those supposedly all the dudes he. Dang. Let's go.
Lil Durk was really the mastermind behind this series of gruesome murders.
I'm from Chicago, Illinois, man. Lil Durk, Inglewood area, whole city, man. You know what I'm saying? We out here rapping, doing our thing. I got a big buzz, man, trying to stay tuned, get rich. I'm just a young, I'm 17 years old.
So tell me a little bit about Inglewood.
You know, over now, with all the murders and all that shit happening right now.
I mean, Newski. They left his ass right here.
One of the other interviews, you said that your dad was caught with like $8 million, 6 bricks.
Yeah. That's why I want to be just like him.
So, Durk Banks, also known as Lil Durk. It brings me great honor and pleasure as the mayor of the village of Broadview to present this key.
What made you want to sign him?
Monster.
You got a name.
King Von, V-O-N.
King Von.
K-I-N-G.
What made you want to sign King Von?
Because he got a whole story behind it.
And so on behalf of the village of Broadview, we are honored to present this key to the city, to Durk Banks Neighborhood Heroes. This key is a token of our appreciation for your collaboration and partnership.
On the road again, back on the road again. We catch you, you through. We catch you, you through.
The rapper accused in a shooting outside of the varsity will move forward. Today, Little Durk appeared in court where a judge ruled there was enough evidence for him to go to trial.
I have nothing to add.
Duck was a threat, gang, with the music, for real, for real. He's gonna be a problem inside this industry for us. We gonna be forced to hit it. We gonna be forced.
4 men in 2 different vehicles came down Oak Street, stopped right here in
Wow, they're saying a lot. My bad for moving around, chat. I'm still at the beginning, but wow, that's a lot of stuff that was said in that little second, and Yeah. Durk has done a lot, man. Durk has done a lot.
We get you. You do.
A rapper accused in a shooting outside of the Varsity will move forward. Today, Little Durk appeared in court where a judge ruled there was enough evidence for him to go to trial.
I have nothing to add.
Duck was a threat, gang, with the music, for real, for real. He's gonna be a problem inside this industry for us. We gonna be forced to hit it. We gonna be forced.
4 men in 2 different vehicles came down Oak Street, stopped right here in the middle, and started firing.
That's Chicago.
So, dude right here, wait, what's his name again? I forgot his name. I know his name too. But he's saying because he was a threat with the music, they had to kill him. No. They still was going to make music. Either way.
Problem inside this industry for us. We gonna be forced to hit it. We gonna be forced.
4 men in 2 different vehicles came down Oak Street, stopped right here in the middle, and started firing.
That's a Chicago rapper, man, by the name of FBG Durk. Shot.
If we into it, we into it for real. Like, not no faking to it. If we into it, I don't know. Because they be thinking, yeah, there's a lot of faking to it going on. But if we into it, you say we into it, you better, I swear to God.
Dante Banks was killed when he was shot in the head. Banks is the older brother of locally known rapper Lil Durk.
So we thank you and we honor you and we appreciate you being in the village of Broadview, and here's your key.
Durk was embroiled in some eternal, I need you off of this earth beef. That's different.
Because of King Von?
Of course.
Whoa.
Not only that, he needed the guys who killed his brother off this earth.
Because I forgave my brother killing, but you know, I understand. I understand what y'all going through. And I hope y'all make it out. I hope y'all make it out, man.
Hey, they said that fool was fake crying, man. Y'all think Wallow was fake crying to Durk? I want y'all, yeah. Or it could have been real. I hope it's real. Because you can't be playing with people like that. Doesn't mean you being a fake nigga. You fake crying. But it sounded fake.
Because I forgave my brother killing, but you know, I understand. I understand what y'all going through. And I hope y'all make it out. I hope y'all make it out, man.
Well-known Chicago area rapper was killed.
Oh! FBG Cash, they said that got him killed, that picture.
I hope y'all make it out, man.
And he was already his op.
Well-known Chicago area rapper was killed in a drive-by shooting early this morning. He raps under the name FBG Cash.
Sheriff's deputies pulling out a man who had been shot in an SUV.
Chicago rapper Lil Durk could be linked to a second
drive-by shooting. Early this morning. He raps under the name FBG.
No, I was muted. Oh my God. I gotta stop doing that. But I'm gonna let this play. It's a lot that's been said. I've been talking a lot. I'm sorry for that, chat. I'm beginning to this. I'm just starting. You see that first video, at least it's sounding better now. I don't know if y'all hear my my heater in the background, but it's cold in LA right now. But I'm gonna just let this run. I'm gonna roll up some, you know what I mean? And yeah, we gonna let this play. Let's go.
Well-known Chicago area rapper was killed in a drive-by shooting early this morning. He raps under the name FBG Cash.
Sheriff's deputies pulling out a man who had been shot in an SUV.
Chicago rapper Lil Durk could be linked to a second murder-for-hire plot. Images of the gunman who shot and killed Stefan Mack in 2022. Grammy Award-winning Chicago rapper Lil Durk is facing new charges in a murder-for-hire plot.
I read it. I don't know. Might be the water.
You better have your gun for me. Better have your gun for boom. Better have your gun for C. You don't believe me, you gon' see. You gon' end up by that tree.
I know that we did it.
If he is convicted, Durk could spend the rest of his life in prison.
Lil Durk, real name Durk Devontae Banks, was born on October the 19th, 1992. According to...
Alright, we getting into the history now. My bad for that sound. But we get into the history now. Now they about to tell his beginnings. Let's see what they talking about. Let's go.
Real name Durk Devontae Banks was born on October the 19th, 1992. According to his mother, LaShonda Woodard, who has written a memoir about her life, Durk, or Tay as his mother called him, shorthand for Devontae, was a problem child in life. Durk, or Tay, according to his mother, LaShonda Woodard, who has written a memoir about her life, Durk, or Tay as his mother called him, shorthand for Devontae, was a problem child from early on, who just couldn't stay still and was always getting into trouble. Durk and his two older siblings, his big brother Booney, better known as OTF D-Thang, and his big sister, Tuta, were not planned children, but
whoa, so he was a hyper child. Couldn't stay still. But now that he older, he be like chill and quiet and shit. That should be reversing. Cause I was a fat kid, a little baby. But when I have been skinny ever since. But here we go, chat. Let's go.
Who just couldn't stay still and was always getting into trouble. Durk and his two older siblings, his big brother Booney, better known as OTF D-Thang, and his big sister, Tuta, were not planned children, but rather, as his mother explains in her memoir, she would barely even know Durk's father, and she would get pregnant unexpectedly with her oldest child, D-Thang, while they were both still in high school. And even after that, while Durk's father, Dante Banks, aka Big Durk, would help to provide for her and the kids, they were never officially together as a couple, even as she kept becoming pregnant due to failing to use contraception. And to make matters harder, Big Durk would end up getting locked up on serious charges when
That's basically the whole ghetto, man. Niggas, a lot of people don't plan their pregnancies. Was I all the way out the camera? But yeah, pregnancies don't be planned like that. From what I know of.
To use contraception. And to make matters harder, Big Durk would end up getting locked up on serious charges when Lil Durk was only about 7 months old, as he would get busted for a major drug dealing operation in 1993, allegedly operating under the Gangster Disciple Nation, or GDN, and even having ties to the infamous founder of the gang himself, Mr. Larry Hoover, whom Big Durk would allegedly refuse to snitch on, ultimately winding up getting himself a life sentence that he would serve for over 2 decades, before successfully appealing his sentence and getting released in 2019, something which I discussed in detail in a deep dive video about the man, which you can go and watch if you want the full story on Big Durk. But anyway, Lil Durk and his family would spend his first years living in his grandmother's house and his mother's childhood home in the infamous Inglewood neighborhood, an address that would later become famous, being the name of his 7th studio album, the 7220 South Halsted Street. The family would get another addition in 1997 when Durk's mother gave birth to his younger sister, Tania. Sometime after that, the family would move to a Section 8 3-bedroom house on Laughlin Street. As a young schoolboy, Lil Durk would attend the Guggenheim to a Section 7 when Durk's...
That's good he didn't show her face. Because she's still alive and I never seen her in public. So that's good he didn't show her face. Shout out to Trap Lord Ross. Let's go.
His mother gave birth to his younger sister, Tania. Sometime after that, the family would move to a Section 8 3-bedroom house on Laughlin Street. As a young schoolboy, Lil Durk would attend the Guggenheim Elementary School, located on 72nd and Morgan, a school which district officials would call the worst elementary school in Illinois in 2012 when the school was eventually closed.
What's the worst elementary school in y'all town, in y'all city? Let's go. Put in the comments.
Due to its poor performance. According to his mother, Durk was so out of control as a child.
Durk with the braids. Oh, that's crazy. He looked like somebody I know. Let me get a picture of that. I'm about to send it to him right now. I'm going to tell you what they say.
That she literally couldn't work because of how often she would be called to the school due to his bad behavior. At only 9 years old, Durk would apparently even attempt to rob a Harold's Chicken with his mother's gun that he had somehow found, with their neighbor actually then appearing at the family's front door, holding Durk from his collar in one hand whilst holding the gun that they had taken from Durk in the other. Around the same age, Durk would also begin often fighting at school and stealing bikes.
How old did they say he was? Wait a minute.
she would be called to the school due to his bad behavior. At only 9 years old, Durk would apparently even attempt to rob a Harold's Chicken with his mother's gun that he had somehow found, with their neighbor actually then appearing at the family's front door, holding Durk from his collar in one hand whilst holding the gun that they had taken from Durk in the other. Around the same age, Durk would also begin often fighting at school and stealing bikes, hiding them in the family's basement so that his mother wouldn't find them. But in his younger years, Durk was also very athletic, and he would be involved in the Jesse White Tumblers, an acrobatics program in Chicago, as well as playing basketball in his school's team. But unfortunately, both hobbies required him to keep up good grades at school in order to participate, which would ultimately take him away from sports altogether. Now, in order to get help with raising a young Lil Durk, his mother would eventually move back to live with Durk's grandmother at 7220 Alsted. But as Durk would later explain to Complex, this would do little to steer him away from trouble, and it was around this age that he would truly begin to get sucked into the street life.
72nd Alsted, house I grew up in. You know what I'm saying? My grandma's house. This is where it all started at, you know what I'm saying? Just the rap, the whole stop going to school. That's what we basically hopped out the streets. We came in.
We built a 3-bedroom house, really 2. My grandma kept a room to herself. D-thing hit the couch. I had the floor in the back. It just came from nothing, you know what I'm saying? It came from one house, like 10 people. Even days the lights was off. Nah, the worst memories of the motherfucker, not eating shit. That's the worst you can go. Really should have enough rice and toast like that. Stop not eating at night.
This house gave me intelligence.
That shows somebody always got it worse than you, man. That's crazy.
You go. Really should have enough rice and toast like that. Stop not eating at night.
This house gave me intelligence, you know what I'm saying? It showed me to be a man, you know what I'm saying? Nobody won't think about make it out of here.
During his adolescence, Durk would become affiliated with 2 gangs from his neighborhood in Inglewood, Lamron and D-Town. Lamron would rep the streets between 62nd and 65th, with their main corner being on 64th and Normal Avenue. The name of the set, Lamron, in fact being normal, spelled backwards. But many members of Lamron would also rep the name OTF, which is now known to mean Only the Family. But OTF might not have always referred to Only the Family, as Durk's label is now known, because some have suggested that it actually originally stood for Only Trey Folks.
Truth in the detail. Whoa. Wow.
A reference to the membership of the gang being made up exclusively of black disciples, a historic Chicago gang whose hand sign depicts them making a 3, or the Trays, a hand sign that was famously depicted on fellow BD drill rapper Chief Keef's Bang 3 mixtape. The first mentions of this OTF name on Facebook appear to be from around 2010, which is likely why the feds are now also tracing OTF's founding back to that specific year. D-Town, on the other hand, was located directly north of OTF's founding back to that specific year. D-Town, on the other hand, was located
Wait, how did they?
OTF name on Facebook appear to rapper Chief Keef's Bang 3 mixtape. The first mentions of this OTF name on Facebook appear to be from around 2010, which is likely why the feds are now also tracing OTF's founding back to that specific year. D-Town, on the other hand, was located directly north of Lamron, their main streets being 59th and 61st. These 2 sets were seemingly extremely close to each other, and they would both rep the number 300, with 3, as I've already mentioned, being an important number for the BDs or Black Disciples that both sets were indeed affiliated with. Together, the 2 sets would go under the umbrella name DTLR 600, the number 600 coming from literally adding the 2 300s together. Lamron and D-Town would also be very close with several other majority BD sets from the south side of Chicago, such as the now infamous Wick City, aka O-Block, located in the notorious Parkway Gardens housing projects known for rappers like Chief Keef and King Von, as well as TYMB, Blackgate, a crew known particularly for the rapper SD from Chief Keef's Glory Boys, Dipset, aka Front Street, known best for the late rapper Fredo Santana, Dog Pound, which is Durk's big brother D-Thang's gang set, as can be seen in this massive chain that he had made in the honor of the 72nd Street that the set hails from. There's also AMG, also known as Mac Block, or the Avenue, aka the Ave, there's Lowlife, and the much more famous 600 set from the Washington Park neighborhood, known for rappers like E-Day, Rondo No. 9, and the late LA Capone. Lamron and D-Town will—
Damn, he broke that shit down. Golly.
also close with a set called Bang Bang Gang, or BBG, as can be seen from this picture in 2010, where Durk himself is portrayed together with this set's name, or in this 2010 music video where Durk and Lil Reese shout out the set. In fact, one of the main members of Durk's OTF crew, Booney Mo, is allegedly from this majority black P-Stone set that reps 79th Street, particularly 79th and Damon, sometimes going by the name 227, as well as an older name, Terradome. This set would gain an infamous reputation in the 2010s due to their long war with the GD set called Killer Ward, which in 2015 led to a highly publicized murder of a 9-year-old boy named Tyshawn Lee, whose father was an alleged member of the Killer Ward gang.
Wow. You think he was like an innocent bystander, or they was aiming for the kid too, like, your kid here? Wow.
Ward is interestingly also known
Hope not.
called Killer Ward, which in 2015 led to a highly publicized murder of a 9-year-old boy named Tyshawn Lee, whose father was an alleged member of the Killer Ward gang. Killer Ward is interestingly also known for being King Von's original hood before he would move to Parkway Gardens, or O Block.
Right now I'm in an area called Killer Ward. This is where I grew up at. I went to grammar school on 6th and Walcott, like kindergarten or 8th grade. It's the area, so this played a big part of my life. I grew up being big, gang banging around here.
As Durk was getting increasingly into the street life, he would also begin his...
Damn, what kind of hairstyle is that, chat?
Being big, gang banging around here.
As Durk was getting increasingly into the street life, he would also begin his high school studies, first attending Percy Julian High School, located in the far south side of Chicago. But due to the long commute, he would soon transfer to the infamous Paul Robeson High School in Inglewood, another school that has since been closed due to its poor performance, and a school which many legendary people from the Chicago drill scene would attend in the early 2010s, around the same time as Durk, including people like the late rapper Lil Jojo, who was from the Brick Squad set from 69th and Eggleston, their hood being located right next to that school, and this set having had a long-lasting beef with Lamron, D-Town, and other BD majority sets from around Englewood. The rapper Famous Dex also attended Robeson, Dex being from a GD set called Mo, or MOE, located in a large GD stronghold, a neighborhood referred to as No Love City, which would also beef heavily with Lamron and D-Town. The late rapper Lil Mister would also attend Robeson, even getting an opportunity to perform his drill anthems at the school. Lil Mister was from a set called Wooga World on 75th and Stewart, the set being very closely affiliated with Brick Squad and therefore also rivals to Lamron and D-Town. As Durk's mother would recall in her memoir,
he was really breaking
numerous rival gangs that
he was really breaking that down. Wow, he brought me back to 2012, 2010.
Lamron and D-Town. As Durk's mother would recall in her memoir, Robeson had numerous rival gangs that would bring far more problems to Lil Durk's young life, and over time, he and his friends would begin to get into increasingly violent encounters with the gangs that they didn't get along with. Eventually, these beefs and schoolyard fights would escalate into shootings and killings, with one of the first major losses on Durk's side being a 17-year-old called Lil Mo. Real name Terrence Hollins, he would be gunned down in Lamron's hood in July of 2009, and according to online rumors, Mo was killed by a member of No Love City called Tone, but the facts regarding this case remain vague. In 2020, rapper Brick Youngster would rap in his song Let's Talk Part 2, OTF diss, that Lil Mo was actually killed by friends of King Von, but it's not clear what friends he's specifically referring to. But in any case, Mo's death was clearly a major turning point for Lamron and D-Town, and they would pay tribute to him religiously. Durk, who had been getting into rapping around this time, would even make a tribute song to his fallen friend, this seemingly being one of the first of his old songs that can still be found on the internet. With Durk rapping to the classic beat from Lil Wayne and Gucci Mane's song We Be Steady Mobbin', Durk was clearly influenced by Lil Wayne's rapping style, and he was also seemingly into freestyling all of his lyrics on the spot. Now, the song is a far cry from the Durk drill anthems that he would produce just a few years later, but by its subject matter, the song was quite clearly a precursor to drill music as we know it today, as Durk would not only shout out other BD sets, such as Dog Pound and the Av, but he would also diss numerous rival sets, including No Love City, Brick Squad, and somewhat surprisingly, also a set called Brick City, who were an older generation from the same hood as 600, a group of OTF allies from Washington Park, who would not long after become very close with Lamron and particularly Lil Durk personally. Similar set repping can actually be heard in Durk's other alleged 2009 song called My Partner Them, this song being a remix of the Atlanta rap crew Rich Kid's 2009 song My Partner Them. And again, Durk can be heard shouting out sets like Lamron, D-Town, Young Money, and Terradome, amongst others, as well as his friends like Lil Varney from Lamron. Also in 2009 is when Durk would begin to get in trouble with the law, as in November, he would be arrested for vehicular hijacking. According to the police reports, an unknown person would first try and rob a woman's car by force. And as the police would later find the car in traffic near D-Town's hood, two men would exit the car and attempt to escape. but they would be caught. One of these men turned out to be a 17-year-old Lil Durk. According to the police, while in custody, either Durk or the other man would freely state that he had seen the car running for about 20 minutes with no one inside, so he decided to take it. However, despite this admission, it doesn't appear that Durk ever received any legal consequences from this incident. But then, only a month later in December, Durk would again be arrested, this time for criminal trespassing, as he was hanging out with 3 other people inside of a laundromat in Dog Pound's hood on 72nd and Halsted. And interestingly, Durk's gang affiliation in the arrest report would be marked incorrectly as Gangster Disciple, perhaps due to his father's affiliation with the gang being widely known amongst the Chicago Police Department. But anyway, coming into 2010, Durk was now a bona fide gang member, but he was also beginning to really focus on his rap career, and in April, he would drop his first ever music video for a song that was first titled Wasted Freestyle, rapping on the...
Alright, this part 1. So we gonna continue this part 2 a little later. But this your boy Kyle Real Solid, and we out of here. Peace.